Okay, I have absolutely no idea if this is working. Can you check my page, Shadow, to see if there's actually a live stream coming through? Because I've set it up on my laptop with this thing called OBS Studio, and I don't know if I'm streaming or not. I hit submit and broadcast live, but I can't tell. Does it say if I'm streaming live or not? Because I really hate using this phone. And it's just not seeming to work. So, it's got all these really cool settings in it and everything, but I have a feeling it's not working. It says I'm live now. So let's see if this is working. It says I'm live right now.
It does say you're live right now.
Can you see me be live right now? Because I absolutely... It is working. But what's the lag on it?
It's pixelated.
Okay, I'm turning this down. Wow. Okay, so I'm using this OBS stuff. So because I have a superior... Okay, you can put that on mute now. I have a superior webcam for my laptop than I do for my actual phone. Although, I don't know. It just doesn't. I'm looking at it on the other screen, and it's actually, you guys are experiencing a big lag, which is actually kind of cool because then I can go back and I can read your questions. I can see your comments now because I actually have my cell phone sitting up here in the other corner. So this is really cool. Excuse me, I'm drinking again. You know, I always get the burpsies when I'm drinking. Renetta Shadow has found the best ass wine I've ever had. What is American Catawba? It's West Virginian wine. And you know, I just don't have any good sense because I drank a whole bottle of that rot gut Arbor Mist last night. Woo!
This is good.
Natalie, I was not feeling good. No, you don't see the lag, but right now, like, I'm drinking wine, and on Facebook Live, I'm showing you the wine bottle. So it's like the FCC. It's like a 7-minute lag. It's beautiful.
Green pixelated screen. I can't see.
Something wrong with your computer, because I'm watching it on my phone, and everybody else says it's fabulous, and it's working. So I look amazing. Oh, thank you. It's just so fucking bright in here. I want to turn this off. I wonder if I turn this off, how bad it would look. If I turn the lights off. Because it's got me looking all Casper-esque and shit. So let's see what it looks like. The lights off. I don't know about all that. Because you can't see things in the background. That's really weird. I am playing... Oh, so you had Catawba as well, Angela. Sorry I couldn't get with you guys tonight. I'm hoping those are Angela and her fiance actually have they sell herbs and roots, and they are the people who will be doing a lot of the growing. Big Liz Conjure is actually going to start selling a lot more herbs and roots. Sadly, we have a resource in our community that's not going to be in business anymore. And it's where I got everything when I first came here, and that's Bowline Apothecary. And they were one of the first businesses to carry my products. And I'm hoping to support Lily in any way that she, any way that I can as she continues with her career in herbalism. But man, it kind of makes me real sad that they're not going to be there anymore. So me and Seamus is selling more herbs at the Magical Druid, try to fill in the gap. So I'm going to see, you see face, no hair. What are you talking about, Tamara? What the hell? Face, no hair. Oh yeah, when I turned off the lights. I really actually do love this lag though, because I can catch up. Bro, Seth, my cousin Joey's on. I'm trying out this new thing called OBS, which is a live streaming service that I can use from my laptop because I really cannot stand using my phone for Facebook Live. So it's looking pretty good. It's pretty excellent. You know, it's been a very interesting day. Yeah, when it was dark, I know. Hi, everybody. It's been a very interesting day, full of temper tantrums from the privileged white folks. And thank God that most of the people that are on my Facebook friends list have some good sense. You know, I have always lived in a situation where pretty much I was a minority, where that I was a victim of racism, discrimination, microaggressions, all that good shit. And I've never been bitter about it. You know, I've been knowledgeable about it. And so one of the things that I'm really, you know, very keen to is when people just don't like to be told that they can't do something simply because they're used to always being told that they can do something. Y'all gotta understand, don't hate the player, hate the game. I discuss the rules of engagement on the spiritual activities that I am involved in. And my thing is, I always tell people this: if you don't like the rules of a path, don't choose that path. And the path of hoodoo, Black people's magic, has always been ancestral. I don't know where a time where it wasn't, especially because there were a time when you didn't learn from like magical people that had stores and stuff like that. You learned from your family. So if that doesn't make that shit ancestral, I don't know what it makes it. But you know, like I said, he can, she can, they can kick and scream all day long about my position. But guess what? It's my position. And that's another thing that people need to understand. If your magic is effective and working for you, do you, boo. But when you come into integrated circles and you are doing the most, and when you are appropriating another culture, it's best to be humble. You know, I know when I went to PantheaCon years ago and we rolled up in, I think they called a Seth, where there's an oracle and it's the Norse religion. You know, I rolled up in there as a guest. I was impressed. I was overwhelmed. I was educated. And my daughter was actually called to the Norse religion at that time. She chose not to go that route. She can go any route because she's a teenager. But, you know, I knew that that was not my practice. I knew that that was not my culture. So instead of coming in there and trying to change the way they did things, I came in, I observed, and I understood, and I appreciated, and nobody made me feel like an outsider. That's the way you are treated with respect, and you're not treated as an outsider. And I really don't think that a lot of privileged people get that. So, when like I said last night, if you're a guest in my house and you act an ass, I will kick you the entire fuck out. And so when you are a guest in this tradition, it is best for you to mind your P's and Q's, play nice, you might learn something. But, you know, I just don't think that any culture should feel compelled to give away its cultural things to people who have not resided within the culture. Now, that being said, you know, I grew up in a variety of locations, and one of those being the projects on the south side of Chicago. And I'm standing at the bus stop one day, and I hear these two sisters just going back and forth, and they're upset about something, and I turn around to see who these sisters are because I didn't recognize their voices, and it was two white girls. And why did I not know that this was two white girls by the sound and the timbre of their voices? Because they grew up in those projects. That was their community, you know? So there are few people, far between, that actually have come as close to walking my cultural path as, you know, somebody who has literally born into it by the way they look, because we do know that race and culture are man-made constructs. But just because something is a man-made construct doesn't make it bad. The minute that something becomes hateful is when it becomes bad. Telling somebody, well, hey, you really ain't got no place here, and I don't know why anybody would want to call on ancestors that, number one, don't belong to them, or number two, don't like them. We've had this conversation last night. I don't get it. But it's so funny because, we talked last night about how when you're all of a sudden thrown into a position that you weren't necessarily like ready for, or really even knew that it was a possibility that this was your position in life, but you take on the responsibilities of a role model. But I'm still trying to figure out why the opinion of little old me can piss somebody off that much. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they know they're wrong. Otherwise, what would the opinion of this singular, angry black woman have to do with the price of tea in China? If I was of no consequence to you, it wouldn't matter, right? So let me be of no consequence to you. Because like I said, this is not a matter of making money. Not at all. I have been working since I was 16 years old, working real jobs. No, I've always had a side hustle, but this is my ministry. So I would prefer that if you don't get with the way I feel about spirituality, religion, you don't have to come here. They reported me for harassment. That person was in my inbox. That person was on my wall. So I reported that bitch for harassment. And then I blocked them. And that's the end of the story. Because I have things to do today. Some updates for the store. The chicken feet that we showed earlier are listed on the site. I just don't have the pictures up yet. Root Org 103 for Friday is postponed. There will be another session on the 22nd. So far, I think only one person has bought a spot for that class. Excuse me, I'm telling you, it's the wine. It's the wine. But I have to go to a funeral on Friday. My exclusive retailer of my products and my very dear witch sister lost her child. I shared the fundraiser on my wall. She was 21 weeks pregnant, and we're all pretty devastated, and that happened on the 1st of November. So I'm going home to Chicago for the services, so I won't be having class on Friday night. And I'm going to be staying in my Holy Roller family's house, and I certainly cannot teach container magic from their crib. Besides, I plan to eat my way through Chicago. So if anybody wants anything from Chicago, you better speak now or forever hold your peace, because we're going to Athenian Candle. We might stop by Indio. We going to Ben's Noodles and Rice. I'm going to Lim's Barbecue, because when I go home, I eat my way through Chicago, and I see my bestie. That's for damn sure. I'm gonna see my bestie. So yeah, it's not a happy reason. And as usual, I have no love for being in Chicago for too long, even though that's the place of my birth. I really like my new home. So I'm coming in and I'm coming out. I ain't going to be doing a whole bunch of meet and greet and none of that. But I will be in Greektown noonish, maybe, if you guys want to hook up for lunch. So I hope to see you guys there. So I ran my mouth to hell and back because y'all sat here, and I blame you, because you let me drink a bottle of wine. I'm gonna drink a half a bottle of wine tonight. I don't even normally drink, but it's winter, and it's okay. It's wine. It's, and that's another thing. I don't drink because I am unhappy. I come from a family of alcoholics who self-medicated with alcohol. I just really wanted to taste this wine. It's like the second. I have never had wine 2 days in a row in my life until this week. I think Shadow's a bad influence on me. But in any case, y'all got any questions? because I'm gonna finish this wine. I know wine is like, look, I'm serious. Wine and weed are God's gift to us, and I don't understand why people have problems with weed. Wine and weed are everything. I'm the type of person, I'm extremely driven. I work really hard. And when I get done with all the work that I have to do, my kids, they never see me do, well, when they were babies, they never even really saw me drink. Somebody made a comment that they saw me drinking to my daughter when she was like 5 years old. And my daughter like had a fit. That's why we saw your mama drinking. And I'm like, where did you see me drinking? Kids are so mean. But we did used to drink. The kids never knew it. We used to go to the playground, and I have this really cool cup that says Spiritual Savage that I got at Daughters of the Moon that would be perfect for this. We were walking distance away from a playground when I had my condo in Chicago, and we fill our coffee commuter cups with wine, and we would go and sit and watch our kids on the playground, and we would get wasted. But we were walking, so we were fine. And we weren't driving. And we watched the kids on the playground, and they'd have a great time. And it'd be evening, so they've had dinner. So after they get, all exhausted, everything, you take them in the house, hose them down, put them to bed. It was great. But yeah, we used to sit and drink out of our commuter mugs all the time. But all of these things are wonderful and fabulous, unless you're self-medicating mental illness and things like that, although weed can probably help with that too, depending, but weed does cause psychosis in some people. So that was just my hooray for wine and weed, the WW. So in any case, yes, wine and weed, they're the best things in the world, and I can't wait until it's legal here, or I'm gonna have to move someplace where it is, because that cramps my style. So but everything, like anything, should be done in moderation. You definitely really shouldn't be imbibing if you're sad, because it's not gonna make you any happier. I don't think so. Generational curses. Woo, woo, woo. Lord have mercy. We had one in our family. I'm not going to discuss it in detail, but we did. And I'm still working to figure out how to break it. We've had a couple. It's unfortunate. But you fuck around with the wrong witch and they can do some things to your family. And it's not unheard of. But there's some generational curses that are cycles of poverty. A lot of times people curse themselves. So I think that sometimes we really have to stop and look at what that curse is in order to find out what its origins are. There are curses that sometimes simply cannot be broken, sometimes just dealt with. The ones that have been part of my family are extremely painful. And I think a lot of us have them. But there are certain curses I could break. Like, for example, alcoholism. Like I said, this is wine 2 times in 1 week because I felt like it. But most people who know me know I don't drink on a regular basis. And that's because, we have an extremely high tolerance for it in our family. And so it causes us to drink more to get the desired effect. So, that happens. There are certain generational curses that I just wasn't going to have in my life. And even before I became a magical worker, I did what I needed to do to break them. As far as, number one, having affection for my child, which, Black women were conditioned for a long time because they would take our kids or they would kill our kids. And that still has not changed today. And so there was a void of affection a lot of times in our households from our mothers. Because they learned it from their mothers. We're only 2 generations out of slavery. It makes sense. So that's one generational curse I broke with my kid. She's still a teenager. She still don't want me to hug her and kiss her. But today she came up, put her hands over my eyes and stuff. Still very loving, still very affectionate. So that's one thing that I broke. Like I said, the alcoholism, the self-medication for depression, anxiety, and other mental illness by seeking the right type of help for me and my family, dealing with something that is not just situational, it's now part of our genetic code. So it just depends on what type of curse it is. It depends on who set that curse. It depends on the level of the practitioner to break said curse. So, yeah, they exist. Sometimes, though, I feel that people use them as an excuse to continue into the same cycles of negativity that they always have. And that's a problem. So, yeah. Any other questions? Anybody else have any questions? Oh, somebody just messaged me about applying for the internship. Somebody else already got it. And I advertise the internship in our witch circle because I want to get all these herbs and roots up on this website fairly quickly. So does anybody have any questions? I'm looking at the phone to see if you guys have any questions. And I'll wait because there's a lag. Go ahead, Tiffany, ask your question. It's hot as fucking here. See, that's why I'll turn the heat up, Shadow. Because now I'm sweating.
Why?
It's hot. It's hot in here.
Not a jacket on. What are you talking about?
Yeah, look, you are always cold. I'm going to turn this heat down, y'all. Hold on. Gosh, it was Africa hot up in here. Before it was set to Caucasian, and now it's set to African. God damn, it's hot in this house. Oh, this wine is the best of everything. Magical ways to break generational curses. First of all, reckoning with your ancestors. Duh. You can even heal relationships with ancestors. There are some people that do ancestor healing, and I'll try to refer you to them. Luna Paterna is one of them. Wine makes me burp, y'all. But there are several people that work with ancestor healing. Okay. I think that's Robert Lucas's name of his practice. Isn't it ancestor healing? I can't remember. But there are people that specifically do that. That's not my genre right now. So, but I'm going to tell you, working with your ancestors is a really good way to stop generational curses. Proper cleansing. That's next level shit right there. So I'm thinking personally, I'm going to go see a priest or a priestess in a tradition to see if they can help me out. That's my personal belief. And that's because I strongly believe in the structures of our African traditional religions. That may not be the answer for everybody, but that is something that, thank you for loving my website. I appreciate it. Shalonda, you need to meet me. Well, I should do a tour. See if they did that. He went like other places and had meet and greets. It was really cool. Baby, I mean, where you live? Where you live, Brandy? What are my thoughts on reincarnation? Oh, definitely believe in reincarnation. Okay. And let me tell you why. Maybe it's because of my biblical background. I grew up believing that the Creator breathes life into you. And I believe that when you die, you become part of this big energy field. Okay. And I believe that some parts of you go to other dimensions and you become an ancestor. People can work to some parts of you might come back. I believe in it. I don't know how it's going to fit within my religion. And I'll have to talk to my mambo about that. But in my lifetime, I've seen evidence of lots of reincarnation and people who have been here before. And because we are actually, people are always like, they want to argue, well, aren't we all from the same source? Yeah, we are. We're all from the same Creator. That is, if you are human. But that's neither here nor there. If you're an alien, I don't know who your Creator was. But we all come from the same source. Okay? And there's a story that this person keeps going to Earth and living a life and coming back and going back and going back and forth. And so they finally go to the Creator and they're like, look, why do you keep sending me back? Like, I believe in Orisha worship, because that spirit is the spirit of your head. That's part of that Orisha in you coming back every time. But this story is not Orisha related, but the spirit asked the Creator, well, why do you keep sending me back? And the Creator's like, because you are one. Until you learn how to treat every single person that you encounter like they are you, then you're going to keep going back. So that's why I believe in reincarnation. I could be wrong as the day is long, but I do believe that energy doesn't die, spirits don't die, and I do believe, if not, I don't believe that all of you gets posited into another person, but parts of you can. And people have past life regression hypnosis. There are little children that talk about their previous lives, and I have no reason to doubt them. I just don't know how it works within the voodoo system, because I haven't read or heard of it discussed, but that's an excellent question for me to ask my mambo. So that is something I'm going to ask her. But I've always believed in it. I've always believed in alien life forms and reincarnation. And that was way before I even became a practitioner. So that's just me. But, I could be wrong as hell. So don't listen to me on that. I'm not an authority on reincarnation. But that's what I believe. Anything from anyone? Somebody said, shit, I'm fucked. Why are you fucked? I don't know. That's funny. Okay. But I do believe, and that's karma. People don't understand karma. Okay, karma is the idea that how you live your life now is going to have a direct effect on your future life in the afterlife. It's not what goes around comes around. So stop saying karma. Reciprocity maybe, but that would then answer the question why you have people that do such shitty things in this realm and they don't seem to pay for it here. They seem to do well. Well, that's because in their next realm, they might be a cockroach. Who knows? So, stories on aliens. I sincerely believe, because NASA has pictures. I believe in science. NASA has pictures of universes that we can see, galaxies we can see, but we can't travel to. So, yeah, I believe in the possibility of, I believe that's also where we go, when we leave here, we move to that next world, that next reality. I'm holding what is the conjure woman's best friend, at least this conjure woman, the lovely bamboo skewer, which I use for carving candles, sigils, holes, names, petitions. I love bamboo skewers. They are my best friend. But yeah, research karma. And it ain't what goes around comes around. That was one of the first things my mentors taught me. Go check it out. It's not what people think it is. And, people are pretty uneducated about it. And it's, the new agers have put different spins and perspectives on things that really just simply are not true. So there you go. Now, interestingly enough, I have no idea how to stop this. I don't know. I was just fucking around. So when I end this video may not save. So I can just say whatever the fuck I want, right? No. Also, let's talk about alliances. We all got to understand that people grow and people change. There were things that I believed when I first became a conjurer that I don't believe anymore. But there are also things that I tried to tell people about, and I watched people follow particular people, organizations, and cliques, and now, they're not part of those cliques anymore, and they want to talk about, them in negative manners. But, the bottom line is most of us are not so bamboozled that we can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes people do things or don't do things to people for the sake of the company that they keep. But when you do dishonorable things, and I've heard some really disturbing things about fellow workers attacking other workers through their particular organizations, I really think that when you fuck up, you gotta atone. I know I wrote this really out there blog post about hoodoo and who can practice, and then this year I wrote a retraction, because we grow, and I was like, hey, I was just on some bullshit based on who I was with at the time or what my belief system was at the time. When you stop learning and growing, you die. But when you've made mistakes and you've come at people wrong, or you've even thrown at people, you really need to rethink of some of the things that you've done. You may owe some people apologies. Um, and I really tried to, like, people were, talking about throwing at that individual today who was getting on my nerves. I've actually had to learn how to not just control my mouth and the things that come out of my mouth, because I have cursed people with my mouth before. Like the Bible says, the power of life and death is in the tongue. Just because the Christian religion as it is now is a hot ass mess does not make their stories that they got from other faiths wrong. And you can speak really good things into somebody's life or bad things into somebody's life. And not just that, you can curse somebody with your anger. So people need to be very careful about how they talk to people and the things that they say about people, because a lot of it's simply not necessary. You're not a spiritual being if your humanity takes over and you can't control your mouth. I've seen people say some really, really, really heinous shit and accuse people of some really bad stuff, and I really just don't think that there's any place for that in spirituality. But at the same time, boo boo, don't come for me, because I will have words for you, and you can't catch these hands. Like my mama said, don't start none, won't be none. So that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, we all change every day, and you better. And hopefully those changes are for the better. But at the same time, don't be nobody's fool. Don't be nobody's punk. Don't be nobody's lackey. Because when you come out of that, you just, that song they used to sing in church, how did you feel when you come out the wilderness? Do you remember that song? I try to tell you about that song. Y'all look it up on YouTube. They used to sing it in Second Baptist Church where I grew up. My great grandparents were very fundamental in the founding of that church. But it's like sometimes you can get so wrapped up with a crowd of people that you're with that you can have this gang mentality. And when you finally come out of that environment, you can't even believe some of the things that you said and did to be part of this group. And that's a bad thing. That's why I've been kind of like, I like to lead the Black Witch Circle, but I'm really not trying to be in anybody's clique, because people are people. People are wrong. People mess up. People make mistakes, and I'm not above those mistakes. No, right, exactly. Ben cast iron skillets is where it's at for cooking and for whooping. Oh my God. My grandmother hit my grandfather in the head with one once. He was sitting on the toilet. She fucked him up with that skillet. And then my mother got my stepfather. He was sitting on the toilet. She got him with a pack of frozen hamburger, about a pound of it. She used it for her fist. And bam! We have crazy women in my bloodline. And they make excellent ancestors. They're like assassins. They will go after people that mess with me, because they weren't taking nobody's shit in life, so they certainly ain't taking nobody's shit in death. And I can honestly say that I have grown. I don't hit people anymore. But yeah, I come from a bunch of crazy ass women that we not really, unfortunately, I've witnessed their abuse, but also I've also witnessed them fight back. So, and I just don't think that in a relationship that level of contact is necessary. When you gotta whoop somebody's ass, it's really time to go. That's another cycle, family curse that I stopped. Domestic violence, where that is no longer going to be a part of my reality. My daughter has never witnessed this in our home by me, never witnessed me getting whooped. And at the worst, she's witnessed me check her daddy when he gets out of pocket and forgets who the fuck he's talking to. Now that he knows that I'm a witch, he does that a lot less. So that's what my daughter grew up watching. So once again, another cycle of violence broken. Right. Don't take no tea for the fever. Exactly. So, toilets are, yeah, man. But you have to understand a toilet and a bed are probably two places where you are your most vulnerable. And, don't get fucked up. I'm just saying, they be in the bathroom. And I think both of them were reading the newspaper and talking shit at the same time and completely unaware that a Dice woman was coming. And she was coming with a skeleton. So, yeah, we don't fuck around. Mm. Hello, Gloria. I love you too, Ashley. Yeah, don't start none, won't be one, none. So, oh, there's another thing I want you guys to do. If you're watching this video, I want you to make comments about the herbs and the roots that you'd like to see me list first. Some of the things that we're going to put on the website next week are going to be five-finger grass, which is cinquefoil, feverfew. What else are we putting up there? Golden seal. What is all of that right there? What is that? Is that buckthorn bark?
Yeah, yeah.
Buckthorn bark, rosemary, lavender,
And
lemon balm. What?
which boxes when you need to reorder, whatever it is.
Which boxes?
Yeah, the roots that you need refills.
Oh, yeah. We got to figure out a way to do that. I mean, they could just buy the bags that we have for sale, or maybe we can make witch box refills.
But no, that'll be whatever size you sell.
Right.
roots in.
So like when you
So,
run
yeah.
out of, things, and that's another thing, you guys. I have a product information sheet with instructions on how to use your products. What I'm finding is people are ordering witch boxes, $100 witch boxes, and talking about, I don't know how to use this. And I'm like, we send out a sheet via email, Save the Trees, that talks about the magical properties of all the herbs and roots that are in the boxes, the oils, the curios, everything. Whole All Heal. Is that the same as Self Heal, Monique, Sister Monique? Because did they have Self Heal today? Did you get some Self Heal?
It's
gone.
Anything, yeah.
Got some deer's tongue. Now that ain't gonna be cheap, people. Deer's tongue is used for eloquence, and especially in court matters. I like it. I think it's also used. Is that safflower? I think deer's tongue is used in gay men's spells. I believe it is. You can look that up. So, seizures, herbs and roots that will help. First of all, I'm not a medical doctor. That's my disclosure. I would encourage you to go online or work with a holistic herbalist to find out, because there is a gentleman that I met at Pagan Pride Chicago a couple of years ago who has been able to control his seizures without the use of Western medicine, but using herbs and roots. I don't know. I'm sure there is. You all have to understand this thing about pharmaceuticals. They got to come from somewhere, y'all. These labs do not pull drugs out the crack of their asses. They go and they get things. Lithium, found in a mineral that is found in springs. They make a water. It's called crazy water, but it helps with bipolar. That is where they get the lithium tablets. It's in lepidolite. It's in a crystal. Lithium helps people who have bipolar disorder, okay? It is found in nature. All these things are found in nature. The problem with Western medicine is that they are pulling out and extracting the most powerful parts of the herb, root, plant, mineral, whatever, and compounding them. They literally call it compounding in pharmacy, okay? And when you compound these things to make them work harder, stronger, faster, they can have side effects. But guess what? You can have side effects with herbs and roots. I read in Prevention magazine when I was a little girl, my grandfather used to get it, about this couple who made their own herbal teas, and they mixed these herbs together, and they ended up to be a deadly cocktail, and they found the couple in their kitchen dead at the table. Just because it's natural, poison oak is natural. That don't mean that shit's good for you. So you really have to be very careful about what you're ingesting and work with an herb, somebody who has an HM, an herbal medicine degree, which is something that I would love to pursue one day if I had a minute to breathe, but I don't. Lily Cunning is the owner of Bowline Apothecary, is going out of business, but if you look her up, Lily Cunning Community Herbalist, she can tell you a lot about that stuff, and she teaches herbal medicine courses.
Quite a few of her classes.
Yeah, and Shadow's taking quite a few of her classes. So you can find out the best way. But none of my products are for ingesting. And there's a lot of reasons for that, y'all. There are a lot of things that you have to set up when you have products that are being used for ingesting, especially at home. There are sanitation things. There are all kinds of things. I mean, I'm sanitary, but there are certain requirements, insurance, and things that you have to have that I'm not even feeling that right now. Topical, if you're not allergic to certain things, so you need to check with me if you have allergies, and magical purposes. That's what my products are for, so I can't give medical advice. When I made the Rise Up formula for anxiety and depression, yes, I did check with herbalists and medical websites to find out what herbs were used to help with anxiety and depression, and it helps. Is it a replacement for therapy and modern psychiatric medication? Absolutely not. You should never abandon your medical protocol, whether it's holistic or Western. You do your magic in conjunction with your health care, no matter what it is, okay? Yeah, it's Kunnig, Cunning, right? Can you give me the spelling?
It's a C.
C, is it a C?
Yeah.
Will you put in the comments, will you put the link to her Facebook page? Okay. Hello, Andanya Salam, how are you? So yeah, we're going to look up Lily. Lily's amazing. She owned the apothecary here. They're closing, sadly, but she's moving on to some new things.
Yes.
Yes.
LLYCU.
Well, no, wine. Can you put it in the comments?
All right.
She's trying to spell some shit to me. I don't spell out loud a good day, and I got a master's degree in literature. I do not fuck around with spelling, okay? Just put it in the comments, and somebody else will get that information. Because Lily's good people. Tag Lily too, so that people know that they're asking about. Yes, HM. They have an excellent online program that, like I said, I'm just trying to push some stuff through, accomplish a few more things on my vision board before I move on to that. So any other questions about thank you personal readings, thank you for saying that, thank you. All right, so Mama's Weed, man, look, weed solves a lot of stuff, okay? Yeah, California. Let me tell y'all about California. Man, I went to PantheaCon back in 2014, and the weed man rolled up with the edibles in the suitcase, and he opened the suitcase, and it was like that thing from Pulp Fiction when the light came on. Oh, angels from heaven. And so there was this gigantic green Rice Krispie treat that I got. I got some weed Kool-Aid. It was grape. And then I got a thing of, I wish Kelly was on here, from my old voodoo house. they made a joke called Too Much Chex Mix, because they gave me a cup of Chex Mix, and I bought it, and or they passed it to me, and like it was so good. It was made with weed butter, and I tossed it back. Yeah, I thought it was K, and I tossed it back. Weed tincture, yeah, weed tincture, maybe with some bourbon, Don't be giving me ideas. Grape weed Kool-Aid. Oh my God, it was the best thing ever. I can still taste it. So anyways, so I had this cup, and it had about this much rice Chex in it, made with weed butter. And Lord have mercy, I didn't know that was a week's supply. Okay. And it was hilarious because I'd asked my big brothers, or my voodoo, obligations done for the evening. And of course they lied to me, and they told me yes. And I think Michelle Jackson saw me that night, and I was really gone. I'm so sorry, Michelle, because I think she stopped by the voodoo suite. And All of a sudden, the mambo whose house I was in at the time asked me, was I ready to do service for Dambala? And I had just eaten a 3 day supply of weed Chex Mix. And I was like, no, no, I'm not able to. I got set up, y'all, because let me tell you, it was bad. I couldn't even keep my eyes open. But yeah, California is an amazing place to be. I'm really thinking about maybe Colorado, but we came so close to passing it here. But the problem is the way the law was written. Just like they kind of did in Colorado. There's a whole bunch of brothers and sisters sitting in jail for selling weed. And if you're in a state where they've made weed legal, I'm thinking it's time for them to let you out of jail. But even if they do let you out of jail, they won't let you have a weed license. But you're a weed expert. You're a weed entrepreneur. Why can't you have a license? It don't make no sense. And that's because they were saving all the way the weed law was written in Ohio, and why it didn't get legalized was because they were only going to give out 1,000 licenses.
But one company controlled.
And one company controlled all those licenses.
And the weed.
And the weed. That's not cool. That's out of control. And that's why it didn't pass here. The whole idea behind marijuana legalization is that it is not very regulated by the government. You should be able to grow your own at home. People make beer at home.
Why?
And I want to tell you something. From coming from a family of alcoholics, I ain't never seen weed kill anybody, but I've seen alcohol take many people out. Okay? So, it's the matter that you can grow it yourself. It's better if you do, because there's all types of strains and chemicals and things being introduced where some of the stuff just isn't safe. And that synthetic weed, stay away. Get thee behind me, Satan. If you have ever seen anybody on synthetic weed, you know that that's just one of the worst trips in the world, and it is not a gateway drug. I've never seen anybody go from weed to heroin. I've seen people go from OxyContin to heroin, and that was prescribed. So yeah, I thought about running for Senate this year. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But if I did, I would definitely run on a legalization platform. Because I think it's the right thing to do for people. I think it helps people. It healed me after I had my hysterectomy. I couldn't even sit up. And a friend of mine came by and he put everybody out of the room and he hooked me up. And I was able to get up, use the bathroom, because if you've ever had major abdominal surgery, you know what taking a poop is like. It's not a pleasant experience. I was able to get up and do things that I hadn't done after my surgery. And I think it's really unfortunate that things that can heal people are the things that are kept away from them, and that modern pharmaceuticals aren't really meant to heal. They're meant to just sustain you, and you're not going to get well. You're just going to be in a suspended state of okayness. And sometimes not even that. So I don't think that's cool. I've never had sativa. I've had hookah. So I've never had that. Weed probably does help you get off drugs. I know weed helped me stop smoking cigarettes. So, there you go. Synthetic, yes. Oh, Oxy is the worst thing ever. Woo! I would never try any of that stuff. Absolutely not. Yeah. Oh, yes. Weed Chex Mix has such a special place in my heart. Patrice, if you've had surgery and you can get medicinal marijuana, that's why I tell all my friends, if you live in a state where you can get medicinal marijuana, get you some weed, boo-boo. It will change your life. But yeah. So, do you think there'll be a significant side effect of what? Of weed? Of synthetic weed? Probably, just like people who do LSD. Man, look, I had a college roommate that used to trip LSD, and like weeks later, she would have flashbacks. She'd be standing talking to people, and their faces would start melting. It was never ever something that I thought was a good idea to try. So, there are just some things that I think that weed is also a mind expander. And I think that's another reason why people don't want you smoking weed. Because then you start asking the hard questions. You probably should write the hard questions down because you're probably not going to remember them when you're sober. But, we start thinking on a different level. And I was telling my class tonight that the only way that I can read remnants of a candle, I can even read ashes when I'm high. I can't read that type of stuff sober. So, that's just the way that goes. So, a significant side effect on those who take anxiety meds and smoke weed. Oh, there is a significant side effect with that. I've heard that people that have certain psychoses should not smoke weed because, and it's been a very long time since I've experienced paranoia, but there are certain strains of those drugs that can produce paranoia and psychosis in people with certain mental illnesses and who are on certain medications, which is why you should always be careful with ingesting any substance whatsoever, natural or pharmaceutical, because you have to understand the risks and side effects of anything, even aspirin. You have to understand the side effects of what you're putting in your body. Okay? That, Oh, hey, Shayla. It's one of my sisters. How you doing? I got my little mandrake on my desk. He's so cute. Somebody broke the leaves off the top, though. I got to glue it back together. But he's cute. Thank you. Yes. And weed is meant to expand your mind. Deandra says it made her want to melt into the floor. And you know what? CBD, completely legal, completely amazing. Amazing. I don't know, does CBD come up in a drug screen?
No.
Man, we got a CBD shop here, and if you suffer from anxiety, a couple drops on the tongue, you're not gonna be high, but you are gonna calm the entire fuck down. So we have a CBD shop right over by the Magical Druid. As a matter of fact, you go get your occult on.
Sells CBD oil.
Who is Momentum?
They sell natural herbal.
That's online?
No, it's a store.
Here.
It's up the street from the Magical Druid.
Well, I'm talking about the CBD store that's around the corner next to the thrift store.
They have it, but this is around the corner from where Bowline is.
Oh, okay. Well, then there's a new thrift store. What is the name of that? Pretty Dope and something. Sister owned. Nice. Oh, I love their thrift store. Man, they're shopping. I tell all my 201 students, don't come here without $200 spending money, because we go shopping and we enjoy ourselves thoroughly. Pain issues with pain meds. Yeah. Things like Valium, when I was, like if I had to have dental surgery or something, didn't work on me, So next time I got to go have some dental work, I'm going to drop some CBD before I walk into the dentist's office, because that is, arthritis in your neck. I've got a bad knee, and I never thought about that. Do you put the CBD on your knee, or do you take the CBD inside? Yeah, CBD is awesome, legal. It's a life changer. Somebody brought some over, and I was just like, what is this? And they were like, this is CBD, and it's legal, and they got a whole store, and you can do it. And I said, wow, legal's good, And I could imagine that really helps people who are trying to quit smoking cigarettes. It's got to. You looking for the wine? Here you go. Oh, shit. I just broke my wine glass with the wine bottle. Is there any glass in my wine? Damn it! Look at what I did to my glass. I don't even know my own strength. I broke my glass. It's so sad. Dollar store. No, actually, these are my Crate and Barrel ones, the last two. Okay. Joseph broke all of them. So I'm just going to, I tell you what. I'm going to drink the rest of this out the bottle.
All right.
Because I broke my glass. Cheers. I'm not going to hit it too hard because I broke it with the bottle before. So I'm hitting it at the head, y'all, because I done broke Add CBD in your clay packs. So like clay packs for your face, Monique, because you're in the makeup industry. So salve and capsules. So you actually use it as salve. Oh man. I wonder where you can get CBD wholesale. So we can make some salve
You know what?
for arthritis.
I wanted to make a cannabis oil.
A
Like
cannabis
yours.
oil? Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, hemp oil, CBD, whatever is legal, we can sell it, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to hit it for Washington. Yeah, I need to be someplace where this is not illegal, because this is not. It's not good. It's not good. Shopping. Yes. Let me tell you something. I don't know what it is. Thank you. You talking about the jar organization in the back. Y'all check this out. This is where we're going to start selling. If you can look over here, and those are my altars right there, but those are the herbs and the roots, and this chair is in the way that we're going to start posting on the website. They're the ones that I tend to buy in bulk. These over here are these are my mixtures that I make. I'm trying to make sure this works right. Try to straighten this out. These are the mixtures that I make. So all of my mixtures are down here. And then some of the harder to find roots and herbs. My cat tears up every leather surface in the house. This is Jezebel's handiwork. And that's why I'm never having any more pets. And then these here tend to be the harder to find, smaller quantity herbs and roots. But more and more, we're moving them over to the big stuff. So that's why we are actually going to start listing stuff on the website for sale, because there is a need. Migraines, headache, clay pack for period cramps. Those are just so amazing. Protection too, yes. Yeah, I do have my own botanica. I have to. And I'm trying to grow it downstairs. We have lots of candles and incense and things like that we have for sale on the website, because I had some custom shelves put into the basement after the flood. And you make a salve blended with herbs, and it's fucking amazing. Okay, so Shayla, please send me a sample. Also, Donnie, I still have your samples somewhere. I got to try them. She sent me. Send me a sample. I want to try it. I really do. Because I swear I would just pump you up if this works on this knee. Woo, baby, bye. Because this knee, I did it in bed. But I am almost a half century old. I know I don't look it, but I'm almost 50 years old. And I rolled over in bed and threw my goddamn knee out. And I was like, what is this? I'm active. What is this? What is going on here? So yeah, things happen when these bones get to creaking. But I'm convinced, like I said, I'm gonna be we laughed about this last night about how I was going to watch yoga, because I'm gonna make sure that I'm not in the middle of a yoga routine and they do some shit that I just I want to make sure that I can do it from beginning to end before I get into it. Because that's like when you go to yoga classes and they be like, all right. And I had this one yoga instructor. She would do like sun salutation, downward dog. She had this whole pattern where you would just go from your feet all the way down, back up again in a very fast, repetitive motion. Wasn't shit relaxing about this chick's yoga. And while it was taxing, I lost 25 pounds through low carbohydrates and yoga. So it can fix your life. THC tampons. Now, I will say this. My grandmother was not a fan of tampons. In fact, I grew up during a time where toxic shock syndrome set in. And that's because nasty ass chicks would not take their tampons out and leave them in for like 24 hours. Yeah, you gonna die. Don't do that. But so my grandmother was always from the option of it needs to flow out. So and I don't have a uterus anymore, but if I did, I probably would love some THC pads. But I don't know if I'd be sticking THC in my coochie. Well, it wouldn't be any good. I wouldn't do nothing. I just sit there all day. High as a kite, because I'm absorbing THC in my pussy. No. I love talking to you. Okay, Thank you for checking me out. Yes, we have 7-day candles, we have fixed candles, we have chime candles. I don't think the votives are up. I gotta order some more votives because the votives that I did buy, I bought for my altar. So you can't sell what you buy for your spirit. So I need to buy a stock just for you guys. The fishermen here use it. They got all kinds of aches and pains. Oh, please do. That probably could be a game changer, not only for me, but for lots of people. And I have the ability to do drop ship from my website. So if you want to sell some of that stuff through me and send it directly, you are my spiritual sister. So I will trust that you will fulfill your orders. That would be something that could really, really help people. But yeah. Hey, Vicky. Hi, Patrice. Patrice took my class tonight, one of my classes. We did candle magic tonight. 14-day all white. Oh, you do? You need a 14-day boo-boo? I got you. I got you. Athenian sells 14 days. I mean, if you need one immediately, I can pick you up one this weekend. Or if you have them where you're local, let me know and I won't pick one up. But if you need one immediately, let me know. Otherwise, I can order a couple of 14s. That would be not a problem. Excellent. Okay, now let me see. Because it's Exanthea, right? Exanthea. Because I told her I was going to call her Miss Zuber till I figured out how to pronounce her name. Thank you for ordering. Thank you for purchasing from me. Okay, you'll need it at the end of the month. I'll get some from my supplier. It's so funny because I'm trying to get my hands on Green Devil candles, and I think I'm going to end up buying this mold that I saw that is really out of control. Or I'm probably going to buy them from Hoodoo Goddess, one or the other, because there's two types that I like. But I called my wholesaler and I'm like, look, where's the devil candles? I need these candles. And they were like, well, our supplier, we've been trying to get them to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, who are they? Because I'm going to need to call them. And they were like, we ain't going to tell you who our supplier is. And I'm like, but we need these candles. So, yeah, Hoodoo Goddess, if you're listening, there is a need for all different devil candles, all different kinds. And I know you make them. And I'm going to be placing an order from her soon as well. I broke my wine glass. I'm drinking from the bottle. Okay? So, it looks like, for whatever reason, the Facebook live feed stopped. Did it stop on your end?
Let me look.
I'm gonna hit play. Maybe it just stopped. Okay. No, it didn't stop. It just paused for some really strange reason. A dumb question. Can men be witches? Yes. Yes. You need a beginner's manual. I sell beginner's witch boxes, so I also suggest that you can read different books by authors like Judica Isles, Scott Cunningham, if you're interested in just basic Wicca, witchcraft type of thing. But it depends on what you want to do. You know, I always thought that male witches were considered wizards and warlocks, but in the traditional witchcraft world, most people don't use that terminology. Both men and women are witches, okay? Devil candles are what they are. They're shaped like the devil. Can you pass me the green devil candle? Mm-hmm. I got one years ago when I went out to a place that I won't even mention because I'm not even giving them any more pub, but I went to a festival and I picked up a green devil candle and they're actually very beautiful, but not sure exactly where those are purchased from. But devil candles are used for magic as well. So you can use a green devil candle in a pay me now spell. You can use a red devil candle in a run devil run or a love spell. You can use a black devil candle to curse somebody. Devils are not seen as evil. In a lot of our religions, demon only means little god, and often devils are seen as trickster spirits. The devil at the crossroads. So this is an example of a very nice green devil candle sold by somebody who I won't even mention. You can see how old it is because it's losing color here in the top. But these are only from that particular merchant who shall not be named. But there are other devil candles like Hoodoo Goddesses that are very nice. And I keep this by in case I need. I sent one. I had a couple. I sent one to a friend of mine who somebody gypped her for her wedding dress. And you know what? That's not a good term to use.
What?
I just realized a term that we've been using for a very long time is not gypped. That has to come from gypsies, which that is not a good term to use. Someone cheated her out of her money. It's just amazing some of the terminology, and you have to remember I am a half century old, that we used to use that's just not cool anymore. That's just not a way that you should be referring to people, places, and things. So live and learn. But somebody cheated her out of her wedding dress. And so I sent her one of those candles so she could get paid. Right. Jinn or Muslim. Right. Jinn, every religion has mysticism and magic. So, oh shit. It is 12:42 a.m. I love gypsies. That's a very bad term to use. And you don't even think about it because I don't even use it that much, but it just rolled off my tongue because it's something that you're used to using. And it's like, no, that's not cool. So, I think one of the things is that we need to learn how to call ourselves on our inappropriate behavior and fix it. And too many people, they're just too proud to fix their inappropriate behavior. I was talking to a friend today about somebody that we both mutually know who has displayed less than decent behavior, and I had no idea that they'd done that with this person. And the fact that was still associated with that person at the time, it really disturbed me because there are just things that are just not okay. Being a predator, not okay. When unwanted sexual advances, I don't care if you're gay, straight, man, woman, otherwise, not okay. And so there are things that, just because that person is good looking, that's like blaming the miniskirt for the rape. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable to be that way to somebody. So we all need to learn how to treat each other better. And like I said today, if my opinion, my itty bitty opinion, sitting over here in the ass crack of Ohio bothers you, then you're probably doing something wrong. All right, you guys. Yeah, there was a person that was a predator to my friend, a mutual acquaintance, and I didn't know it. And I've been friends with this person for quite some time, and it's not acceptable. I didn't know it. Not acceptable. So yeah. So when you know better, like Mother Angelou says, when you know better, you do better. And now that I know this information, I'm going to talk to that person about it and sever ties because that behavior is completely unacceptable. I don't care who you are. So, we cannot continue to support people who are racist, who are sexist, who are misogynists, who are oppressors. We can't do that. I don't care what they are or who they are. I don't care if it was my daddy. If my daddy did some shit like that to somebody, me and him would have words and we probably wouldn't speak again. Luckily, I've never heard anything like that about my daddy, but if I did, I'd have a problem with it. Remember, people, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So keep that in mind as you pick your friends, as you pick your alliances, as you pick your religion and your magical practice. Because not everybody out here means you good. And sometimes it takes a long time for you to find that out. And you could make a lot of enemies in the meantime. So, I'm going to bed. Yes, know your enemy. And your enemy's enemy is not always your friend. Don't sleep on that either. And just because you see somebody on my Facebook friends list does not mean we're friends. It just means that we are Facebook acquaintances. Don't judge people by their Facebook friends. Like that post I shared earlier. Just because you got some black Facebook friends does not mean you woke. Not at all. And I enjoy talking to y'all because, I just was, like to pass the time with people while I have a little wine. And I will see you guys soon. So if you guys want to have lunch in Chicago on Saturday, I'll be in the Greektown area. Holler at your girl. Message me. I'm not going. Been around the world and everywhere trying to meet up with everybody. If you guys want to have lunch, we'll meet at a specific location, which will not be Giordano's because they suck. So, there's Greek restaurants there. There's the Pantheon. Ooh, we could go have Greek food. All right. So anyways, you all be cool. I don't know how to turn this off, but I'm about to find out. I'm about to go. I have no idea how to turn this off. And I don't have any idea how it's going to upload. So if this does not save, I feel kind of bad. So I'm going to go to exit, and I don't know. And they've got captions on here and everything. I have no idea how to turn this off and to save this video. I just hope that it automatically does. Good night, everybody.